Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Lot of events going on today. So we have the ship that was in the Suez Canal that is now free. And did it, inform us? Did it teach us a lot of stuff? I believe it did. And I'll go into that. I believe that it was a reveal, had a lot of us talking about a lot of stuff that's going on and that we need to be aware of. So let's look at some of the things that I'm looking at that'll give you guys some excellent insights. Here we go. All right. So, I said this just the other day, said I would like to see a governor stand up and say, you businesses that are forcing this mask mandate after I have said that there are no more masks, you're going to get slammed, right? So DeSantis, give me a break. Vows executive action against vaccine passports. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Monday railed against the idea of vaccine passports. I talked about this yesterday. The Biden administration is starting to push that. In New York, they're starting to push that, pledging he would ban businesses from acquiring proof of COVID-19 vaccination for entry. This comes after New Yorkers who are heavily suppressed by a very deep state governor that should be going bye-bye, hopefully very soon, because the women just keep stacking up that are coming out with comments about him. Haven't heard that, have you? Well, I've got one for you. It just came out just recently. So last Friday, we're first able to use such a passport to gain entry to certain events and venues. Now, I know some of you are going, oh my God, I'm gonna have to get a vaccine before I can do anything. Depends on where you're at. And you need to be aware that if you're getting a vaccine, it could eventually go against you, all right? And that's completely your choice. My choice not to do that. Your choice maybe to get it. And that's free will. That's a beautiful thing that we have in the United States. I never see it as being a mandatory thing. So he goes on to talk about, Ron DeSantis goes on to talk about, you want the fox to guard the hen house. I mean, give me a break, DeSantis said, of allowing companies to have access to vaccination information at a press briefing in Tallahassee, Florida. I think this is something that has huge privacy implications. It is not necessary to do. So let's look at this. Less than 1% chance that you are going to die of COVID. Less than 1%. All right. So why would you take an experimental vaccine? Yes. And it's not even a vaccine. It's experimental shot. And it's on everywhere you look. Everyone's talking about how it's experimental. Now, many companies that do basically, if you were to unfortunately die from getting that or have complications from that, many insurance companies will not cover you. And you need to be aware of that. You need to do your research and look into this, because why? Because it's an experimental vaccination, right? Experimental. So less than 1% chance you'll die from it. It's experimental. And there's lots of reports of some problems with this thing, right? Lots of reports. So this is being suppressed. But if you do your research, you're going to find that very, very high numbers of people are going bye-bye, right? Very high numbers of people are having complications. It's not worth the risk. That's insane. It's insane how they're pushing this thing. So he goes on to say, Ron DeSantis goes on to say, we're going to have hit 3.5 million seniors that have taken the choice to get the shots, all right, this week, likely 75% of seniors. Now let's hope and pray that some of the people that are getting these are not going to have any complications, no problems. There are, I think, different vaccinations out there. So just be aware of that. It's important to be able to do it, but at the same time, we're not going to have you provide proof of this just to be able to live your life normally. Thank you, Governor DeSantis. So just keep stacking up to be, somebody that should be making some big decisions in other places. New York woman, Governor Cuomo, forced kisses on my cheek as they're forcing New Yorkers to get vaccinated so that they can live a normal life. And if they don't get vaccinated, they won't be able to live a normal life, right? Not a good thing.
A staffer, if I would allow governor to come into my home, view our damages, and I agreed. Governor Cuomo went into my house with my husband's son, along with his staff and some town officials. I came in shortly afterward, and when I walked in, I said to the governor, "Do you think that we have to live like this?" That's when the governor looked at me, approached me, took my hand, and pulled me to him. He leaned down over me and kissed my cheek. I was holding my small dog in my arms, and I thought he was going to pet my dog, but instead he wedged his face between the dog and mine and kissed me on the other cheek, in what I felt was highly sexual manner. He said, "That's what Italians do, kiss both cheeks." I felt shocked and didn't understand what had just happened, but I knew I felt embarrassed and weird about his kissing me. The governor's staff started to walk out of the house. Governor Cuomo lagged behind them. He stopped, he turned to me and said, "You are beautiful." That made me feel even more uncomfortable. I felt as though he was coming on to me in my own home. After seeing the damages, the governor then circled to the front of the house where I was standing. He then approached me. He took my hand and said, "Is there anything else you want?" I didn't know how to respond. He then leaned down on top of me, and while still holding one of my hands, he forcibly grabbed my face with his other big hand and kissed my cheek. Again, in a very aggressive manner. I felt like I was being manhandled, especially because he was holding my face and he was kissing my cheek again.
All right, so Cuomo is obviously doing highly inappropriate sexual movements against other women, and many women that have very verifiable sources, or as far as like their stories, verifiable, they're coming out and hitting this guy. Now that's on top of this is almost like a distraction from what really should be going on, is he should be hauled in front of a court for having 15,000 or more seniors die from his edict, which he lied about, said that he didn't do it, and then he was like caught saying that he did put seniors in homes, and his health officials have come forward saying that they were suppressed, that they tried to hide the larger numbers. All this is coming out. How is he even still there? How, if any of us had done this and one person had died, we'd be in prison for the rest of our lives or worse. He's done it to 15,000. How in the hell is this person still alive? Unbelievable. All right, Greg Mannarino, excellent insights. I took his insight and basically invested early this morning, and it's already gone very, very good. And this is what he has to say.
Deal. Apparently, they freed the ship that was wedged in the canal, and that gave the market a little bit of relief. But again, what happened last night? Let's see. An Indonesian oil refinery was leveled by a lightning strike. Pretty strong lightning those Indonesian people have over there. Yeah.
All right. So this has been ongoing, and he's been pointing it out. The oil market has been under attack to raise prices. And why is that? So my thoughts are they're trying to force this new Green Deal. Remember how this is going to be trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that they're going to like milk from us. And they make a lot of profit off this, guys, and they're not going to give up on it. So they're going to go after the oil industry, and they're doing it. This ship being wedged there in the Suez Canal could have been part of it. It was also a reveal on some other levels that we've talked about. And I'll bring up a little bit more about that in a second. But serious manipulations going on. I even heard that in Australia, people are trying to get silver and the banks don't have enough. They can't get silver to people. So there's a silver run going on in Australia from what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't been able to verify that, but it's starting. There was a big hit today on the stock market because there was some companies that couldn't cover short positions. Now, the price of gold and silver has been suppressed very heavily recently, so that a lot of these short positioners in the banks could get out. Now, we're seeing that some of these banks are under a lot of pressure from other problems, people not making their long-term short positions and so forth. So it's happening. It's happening. So if you haven't got your silver and your gold, you should be diving into it right now while the prices are suppressed. I believe they're getting ready to explode upward.
It wasn't a lightning strike. Oh, no, it wasn't. I think you get it. Anyway, they're going to prop up crude. 10-year yield, people did climb today, $1.71, slight gain. Cryptocurrencies higher across the board. Very nice. Gold and silver under pressure. People, you know what this means. It's a buying opportunity. So
it's a buying opportunity.
So that's it. That's the game. New record high for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500 fractional loss, NASDAQ fractional loss. These will catch up. There's no doubt about it, people. You know what's going on. It's not going to stop. The easy money, the propping up, the fakery, the fear news.
Guys, you have to get away from, this doesn't make sense. I got stuck in that for a long time, lost a lot of money to that. So I made a lot of money when I invested intuitively, and I pulled a lot of money out and saved myself a lot of money by investing intuitively. Intuitively, I'm getting that it's time to get in and make some money before this thing eventually crashes hard.
Yeah, you hear the big warning from the CDC today. Oh, I don't want to talk about it because they might not process my video here, but go to my Facebook page, or better yet, go to my chat room, traderschoice.net. People, I'm going to say it again. Take advantage of everything on my website. All kinds of free stuff for you, including this chat room where I post everything that you're not supposed to see. Take advantage of it. If you need me to add more people.
Guys, Greg's hitting intuitive stuff. You guys need to catch up, get on board with this stuff. If you're into investing, if you're into creating wealth, he's on board. He's going to make some money for you.
Will, I pay to have that chat room there for you. It's not for me, it's for you. So, excuse me, I got an itch. Take advantage of it. That's just the way it's going to go. So look, the story is very simple. And you knew this was going to happen. I explained to you earlier today to buy the dip in the market. It's not real. So if you do what
So I bought pretty heavy on the dip, and it's already profitable. So it turned around, like he's saying, it's going to go higher. It's going to go a lot higher. So how much higher? Who knows? But it's time to make some money on this stock market. You have to watch. If you don't have the intuitive skills to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, then you need to watch people like us to give you a little bit more better insight. Now, some of this stuff can happen on a dime, guys. So if you're not ready, I always tell people, don't invest that you can afford to lose. All right. So never do that. So if you put your house up, for a market move and it goes the wrong way, not a good thing. So always invest, what you're willing to lose.
To do, and I did this for a very, very long time, that was fall back on the premise
So here he is, he's talking about what I just said. So he's an intuitive investor. You have to let go. And this was a hard lesson for me. You have to let go of what makes sense. So these are market manipulations that are going on right now. And once you start to see, I even talked about how I went big on who the Super Bowl champ was going to be, because I saw it was already rigged. These things are rigged. The stock market's rigged. If you know where these guys are going to lean, you start to see all the signs of it, that they're going to start, they're pushing oil to new highs so that they can bring in this, I believe, this Green New Deal, because people are going to be like so disgusted with, and they even had Buttigieg. Remember Buttigieg? Oh my God. So of course he's in Biden's administration and he's in charge of, I think, transportation or something like that. So they're talking about taxing us on mileage. So that's another reason why they're going after, oil. So you're not going to want to get in your car anymore. You want to get in there, free transportation that they're going to make with this Green New Deal. These bullet trains across the country, which will never, ever be manifested, because just like in California, they steal and steal and steal from these things.
Whatever it is, delusion that the market is real, then nothing makes sense to you. But if you sit back and you understand what they're going to do, they're going to blow up refineries, blame it on lightning strikes, wedge ships in canals, whatever, just to prop up crude oil. You understand that the market is going to be bought no matter what. Economic collapse, don't matter. 70% of small businesses here in the United States gone forever, don't matter. Great Depression levels of unemployment, don't matter. 700,000 to 800,000 people per week applying for first-time unemployment benefits, don't matter. People living paycheck to paycheck here, don't matter. Nothing matters anymore. It's about easy money, and it's about the Fed buying it all. I know I say this every single day, but I get a lot of new people. As a matter of fact, I'm putting on like 1,000 people like a week now.
Yeah, the guy's crushing it. He's intuitive. I highly recommend getting on board. All right, so that's the economic side. And although you guys like the economic side, I push this all the time. Evergreen ship, like I said in my last video, will be a big deep state reveal. Now, do I still think that because it's like free now? It's going down the canal. We thought they're going to get in those containers and find some kids and stuff like that. Whether it's basically to stop the traffic so they can prop up the price of oil, jack the markets around and make money for these clowns, I don't know. But the thing that we did learn is a lot of us became very conversational about evergreen and having kids in these Conex boxes. Now I'm going to show you some stuff right now, but first let me show you when you come into the drop down area of my, the information area of my YouTube video, you're going to see my 𝗨𝙗𝑖ntuition.com, where you go in and get my courses, effective EMF and 5G protection. Hit these links, and of course, this is how I make money, guys, and this is how I stay, able to, just like Greg Marinero, to reveal and share this information. You got the Phoenix link, Ascent Nutrition, and a Sear custom skin and hair products. So all these links, when you click, you like that stuff, you buy it, then I get a little bit. So it's awesome. So if you want to know more about me, here it is, about my combat veteran Navy SEAL with 24 years of experience. So another 15 years or so with the CIA, 11 years with the CIA, so 35 years total, building my intuition, building my abilities to observe things on a different level. I teach you how to do that yourself. Don't hesitate. Get on board and learn about intuition. If you haven't taken it to the next level for remote viewing, remote influencing, and past life review and all kind of stuff like that, I'll help you get there. And I'll help you get there quickly instead of taking years and years and years or a whole lifetime to get there, right? So that's what you got for that stuff. Now, Facebook, here's a nice little post. U.S. states freed from mask mandates. Indiana's in the latest one. How many now? 21. 21 states are now free of the mask mandates. That's amazing, right? So what's happening? Here's a fitness owner in Canada who decided not to allow any people inside who have taken the jab. So it says here, please be advised, and this is what's coming for people that are thinking they're very, very clever in getting this jab. To assure the safety of our staff and existing clients, CP Fitness will not be accepting new personnel training clients who have taken the experimental vaccine. This decision has been made in consultation with our insurance company, as well as health professionals. The unknown health effects of the mRNA vaccines are not covered by our liability. And also, we had to take into consideration reported side effects such as viral shedding. Viral shedding means that you're creating new viruses within your body from this, right? Because your body is no longer doing its work, doing its thing, because you've gotten this experimental vaccine. So it's basically shutting down your viral fighting system, all right? Seizures and death in consideration. We apologize for any inconvenience and will reevaluate our policy when clinical trials of the experimental injection are completed in 2023. Thank you. So of course, it's still your option to get this. You know, a lot of people have already gotten it. What are we seeing from it? You know, do the research. Biden urges governors, mayors to reinstate mask mandates. All right, so I mean, same thing. You know, you have the choice to wear the mask or not wear the mask. Businesses have the choice, even though they're in a state where, you know, there is no more mask mandate, to require that, you know, customers still wear the mask when they come into their facilities. That's all, you know, by choice. By choice, we can, you know, choose to go do something else. But here we have the president, for president, basically saying that we should, you know, go back and go backwards in time, because they didn't plan for this to happen. They didn't think that these mask mandates would start to be rescinded. Thank you, Governor DeSantis and other governors that stepped up and did the hard thing. Some states like Alaska never did a mask mandate. As CDC Director Walensky warns of impending doom. Remember, we heard that like over a year ago. Impending doom if we don't lock down for 2 weeks. And now here we are, you know, over a year, almost a year and a half later. President Biden says, I'm reiterating my call for every governor, mayor, and local leader to maintain and reinstate the mask mandate. Please, this is not politics. Hell yeah, it is.
Reiterating my call for every governor, mayor, and local leader to maintain and reinstate the mask mandate. Please, this is not politics. Reinstate the mandate if you let it down. And business should require masks as well.
See how you slid that one in? Businesses should require masks as well. 𝙭𝙘, Capitan. All right. 𝗬𝙗𝗚. All right. So what else? What else is silliness? Texas. Why would Texas, after, you know, dropping the mask mandate, their cases dropped to record low nearly 3 weeks after mask mandate lifted? Why would they go back? Why would they go back? That would be stupid, right? Absolutely be stupid. So what's this about, you know, reinstating the mask mandate? You know, he's trying to get people to get back in fear. Trying to get people back in fear. Don't go there, guys. You know, we worked hard to get out of this. Don't go backwards. You know, hold that line. Get in that shield wall and start to press. Now, some people are saying, and you know, this is opinion, COVID face masks may be accelerating Biden's dementia. I don't know. You know, you know, we're observing things, and who knows what's going on there. So the evidence of President Joe Biden's mental and physical health degradation is continuing to add up. Now, why are they bringing this up? Are there movements to basically get him replaced? What do you guys say in the chat? So I'm waiting. Chirp, chirp. I don't hear anything. So yeah, what's wrong with Biden's face? Of course, there's lots of problems going on with that thing, whatever that thing is. So anyway, it goes on to talk about his campaign was run from the basement with constant lids because of outbursts of gibberish, as well as being unaware. He's groping women. It has only gotten worse since he occupied the White House, from appearing to state the N-word to falling down the stairs of Air Force, whatever that was, multiple times. His aides routinely kicked the press out of the room when there are any signs of Biden is appearing to falter. Well, in that last press conference, he faltered quite a bit, but there's not a lot of stuff that's been said about it. I brought it up, and I think a few other people brought it up, but that's it. That's all we hear. That should have been, grounds for like, you really need to get you checked and see what's going on. If there's a problem, do you have the nuclear codes? No, he doesn't. So if he were, really the leader of the free world, that's something that would be done. Suez Canal live updates. The Ever Given is free, clearing the way for traffic to resume. So here it is. It is free. It is moving. They did a good job of doing the salvage work. They had a super high tide from the moon. They're very fortunate to be able to get this off. The mammoth cargo ship blocking Suez Canal for a week was wrenched from the shoreline and finally set free on Monday, raising hopes that one of the world's most vital maritime routes, which I think I heard somewhere was costing like $6 billion a day or something crazy, in lost revenue from trade and so forth. So I guess it's been freed up. We'll see what happens, going forward. It is freed up. It's moved. So that's all. Let's look at some other stuff about this Evergreen. I've talked about Evergreen quite a bit. I've talked about how there's human trafficking, child trafficking in some of these containers. We showed on the Optimized Tribe last night where there was a video, on not just social media, but also some kind of show, some TV show, I believe, where it showed a policeman running, opening a box. And in the background, it was basically a container, Conex boxes, we call them in the SEAL teams in the military. In the background was Evergreen. And then he opened the box, opened the box, and pulled out a child from the box. Right?
Evergreen was Hillary Clinton's Secret Service name. You Google Evergreen, you're going to see thousands of pictures of these containers on boats. Some of those boats are owned by Paul Martin, our former prime minister. Inside those containers, children. There's 40,000 children's foundations in Canada. Now, these containers have been coming and going from Canada. Paul Martin knew about it. John Chrétien knew about it. Stephen Harper knew about it. 𝗏𝗏 knew about it, Justin Trudeau knew about it, and that fat ass Kim Campbell knew about it, and they let it happen. This is what's going on. We're shut down for a virus while the Marines are rescuing millions of children from the underground. That's not all. There's millions of adults in the underground. That's not all. There's millions of children in Canada that are being trafficked currently by these gay lawyers and CAS agencies across Canada. You're going to hear about it in the States first, but you're going to wake up in a week or so, and a lot of people are going to be gone. And when they're gone, you're going to know why. Some people think this could possibly be a big UN takeover, but if it is, well, there's 300 million Americans that aren't going to agree with that.
Roger that. Not going to agree with that whatsoever. A lot of us have guns. So yeah, another opinion by someone. Not that I espouse any of those opinions. I just like to look at them, put them out there. So this is something that I've seen this movie, The Sound of Freedom. There's a part in there that's very interesting.
Rescuing hundreds of kids. She could be a block down the road, or she could be in Moscow, Bangkok, LA.
Over 2 million children need.
Where are those children right now? They're in one of those Conex boxes.
They're being sucked.
They're on a ship going to who knows where, right? So is it real? It's real. This is The Sound of Freedom is based on a true story, guys. So that was part of our narrative for a little while now. So we looked at that. We talked about it. We shared information on that. It would have been nice to maybe see some of those boxes open and see what's in them. It didn't happen, unfortunately, but the thing that did happen is a lot of us talk about it. So is the reveal on? The reveal's on because we're talking about it. We know that this exists. Was it on that ship? We'll probably never know, unfortunately. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll come down and we'll find out later. So it's free. It's moving on. It blocked shifting for a week. Looked like it was going to be there a lot longer. They were able to get it free. I've, been in combat where I've seen a lot of bullets going down range that should have killed people, but they just kept running and no bullets hit them. It's pretty amazing. This is, maybe this is one of those where all the bullets were being fired at this thing, but somehow it was able to skirt through. All right. Shit happens, but will there be another instance where this will be exposed? Absolutely. This is not over. This war is not over. This downfall of the cabal is not over. It's going to continue. It's going to gather pace. It's going to gather momentum. More and more people are going to wake up. More and more people are going to get fed up with the lies and the bullshit that's been going on for all this time. And we're going to push back on it like we're doing right now. So, Mr. Biden or whoever you are or whatever you are, saying that we have to go backwards and put our mask on, we ain't going to do it. It ain't happening. And in fact, we're going to have more and more states are going to get free here pretty soon. And more businesses are going to get free. Of course, 75% of them are gone forever. But the ones that are left, a lot of them are like saying, screw that. We're not having any more mask mandates. And if you want to come and try something, then we'll take you to court and we're going to win, because that's happening. Lots of wins are happening for people that have been, pushed in, court proceedings because they refuse to do the mask mandate. All right, guys, lots of love out there. Don't forget to join us in Optimized Tribe in an hour. We're going to have 107, and who knows what's going to be exposed there. All right, lots of love.